Hi guys. Next year is Interview with a Vampire, one of my favorite shows. Actually, I'll take that back. Well, yeah, it is the third season of Interview with a Vampire, but it is going under the Vampire Lestat. Now, just recently, I stumbled upon a short that someone had made at some convention. I'm guessing Saratoga Comic Con. Not Saratoga Comic Con, no. San Diego Comic Con, excuse me. San Diego Comic Con. And that in that short, it was given like a bit of a trailer or something. So prior to that, I read an article that Lestat feels that the memoir that Louis had done with Daniel Malloy was trashy, and he feels that it is, not okay, that it really undermines him. And there's a scene where Daniel is saying, telling Louis, because they're at dinner at some restaurant, and he's, has the book, the copy of Lestat's book, and he goes, yeah, he didn't like it. He says it was trashy. Oh, he really didn't like the part of Claudia. And Louis is like smiling, like it's just his personality. Then there is a scene where Louis and Lestat are going at it. I don't know if it's some sort of legal battle or like a legal battle or a legal mediation couples counseling. I don't know, because it looked like in the last season, season 2, it looked like Louis and Lestat had reconciled, or at least trying to be at a good stance, and that we were all under the impression that something was going to happen to Louis, because he was hearing all the thoughts of the other vampires that found the book offensive, disrespectful, and clearly not cool. And he says, you guys have an issue with it, come to me. Come on, let's fight. Let's duke it out. Come to me. So I was under the impression that Louis was going to be possibly exiled. But no, it looks like Louis will be in this season with the vampire Lestat. With Lestat, yeah, in that show. And it looks like I said, they're in a scene where they're at some sort of legal mediation or whatever. And clearly Lestat doesn't seem happy about Louis and Armand, oh, I bet, passe. And Louis like casual, like, hey, if you want to talk about Armand, I'd be more than happy to. So it looks like he's not going to hide anything. But as like the trailer continues, it seems like Daniel is with Lestat. So either Daniel is with Lestat because Lestat says, all right, well, you heard Louis', version of events. I want you to hear mine. Or, like I said, it could be one of three things. It could be Lestat told Malloy, hey, you're going to come with me and you're going to see my version of the events. Or Louis told Daniel, look after him. Look after him, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Or it's both, or it's a little bit of both. Lestat wants him to come along so he could do his version, and Louis says, yeah, go and do it, but as you're doing so, please look after him. So I don't know. It could be a little bit of both. It could be one of those things or both of those things. So because there is a scene where he is helping. It looks like, because Lestat does have his, what do you call it? His ways of manipulation, and him being a rock star, rock stars get girls and they bring them to the backstage and, things like that. Not all of them, but, that's what he's doing. He's putting on that show. And because at one point he looks like Daniel helps him put a girl in a coffin, meaning she is drained. There's that. There's also, because if you have seen Queen of the Damned, the movie, Lestat does his own, trading secrets in the songs and things of that nature. The vampires are not happy about that. You are, it makes Louis' book look like, oh, this is nothing. What you're doing is way worse. You are exposing us. You are letting people know who we are. That is not okay. That is against the rules. That is against the law. No human should know, exactly. No human should know about the existence of a vampire. If so, they must be eliminated. That's one of the rules. So, in the movie, you had the vampires while the people were dancing to the music. The vampires are just like, not giving in, just like showing, hey, we see what you're doing. We know who you are. We're coming for you. There's a scene in Lestat, there's a scene just like that, where Lestat is singing. And there are vampires in the crowd as if waiting for their chance to strike. At one point, Louis is there. So it's either Louis has tried everything he could to tell Lestat, hey, stop. There's nothing wrong with you singing, but be mindful of what you're singing about. It is either Louis has had enough, of Lestat's thing, like has tried everything and he's just done, or Louis was forced to choose. It was either the life of Lestat or the life of Daniel. The nightmare choice. If he cared about Daniel, he would be in that crowd to face off with Lestat. If he cared about Lestat, then he would go get Lestat out and possibly Daniel would be the sacrificial lamb. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going by what I saw in that little short that the person had done. Go ahead, if you guys wanted to see what I'm talking about, go ahead and put in Vampire Lestat short San Diego scenes. I don't know. It was a short. I don't know if it's taken down now, but that's what it was in the thing. He's singing. He's having blast. From what I had saw of a video, behind the scenes video, a short teaser, Sam Reed, the man behind Lestat Delancourt, it has been practicing for 2 years. 2 years. He has been practicing for 2 freaking years. And that's so crazy. For 2 years. But yeah, I can't wait. It's coming next year. I cannot wait to see how this is going to play out. Like, I've always been open about my, how can I say, about my, what was it, my fears of how it possibly wasn't going to work. Like, I don't know, like, I had my doubts, about the show, because when the show came out, a lot of other shows were being axed. And they were being axed for many reasons, whether it was due to unfamiliarity, not enough ratings, clearly people not paying attention to the source of material, and that's what people got X'd out. Shows trying to be like other shows, shows tending to shove a lot of, stuff down people's throats. Everything forced. Pretty much everything felt forced, and that's why they were being canceled. So I was afraid that this show was going to be just like that, only to find out the moment I saw the first episode, I was hooked. I saw all of season 1. I saw all of season 2. And now I'm going to see, hopefully, all of season 3. Season 2 is also, it can be a hit and a miss, because I've had shows where after maybe 2-3 episodes of the second season, I stop watching it. And there have been shows that I have done. There are shows that I have watched, like, the first season, and like halfway through the first season, I'm done. I'm going to admit that with The Last of Us. The HBO's Last of Us, I'm going to admit that. The last episode I saw was, I think, episode 6 or 7. That's the last episode that I saw of season 1. That's about it. I've seen bits and pieces, clips of what the other episodes are. Other than that, that's it. That's it, folks. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. But yes, so Interview of the Vampire is coming out in 2026. I'm guessing it's going to come out in the summer. So I'm ready. I'm ready to see what's it going to be. I want to know, are they going to reconcile? Are we going to lose Louis? I don't think we're going to lose Daniel. But I do feel like we're gonna see. Not only are we gonna see, I don't know. It starts with the T. It was a group that knew the existence of the vampires, but did not involve themselves with it. Like they too, we just keep to the shadows. We just observe. We don't interact. We just observe. And I think they're doing a show of that group. But yeah, also in that little short, we're gonna see most likely Lestat's past. Probably most likely before he was turned. And there happens to be a woman who I have a feeling may have turned him. Because you see her in the past and you see her in the present. So either she is his creator or she taught him. She had taught him. Like how Louis taught Claudia. Although Claudia was not turned by Louis, she was a progeny or a fledgling, however you want to call it, whatever word they use for Lestat. But Louis was teaching her. They were teaching her how to hunt. Things like that. So I don't know if this woman was okay, that's a word. Okay. So what Claudia was to Louis, Lestat was to this woman. So I don't know. Because he did say he had the creator made him, sent him, made him kicking and screaming. He was like part of a convent, a monk or something, some religious thing, and he was taken away from there, and that was pretty much it. So, looks like we're going to see more of his past. We're going to see his past go into his present. And we're going to see how that all ties up into his future. So yeah, like I said, I can't wait. I am ready. I am ready to see this. I can't wait. So yeah, let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Because I think Daniel Malloy is with him because as both to look after him like Louis wants, and for Lestat, for him to chronicle Lestat's life in his way. That's what I think. And then Louis in the crowd with the rest of the vampires, I think he was given a choice. It was either between his love of Lestat or his friendship, his happiness and friendship with Daniel. That's what I think. So I don't know. You guys let me know what do you think about it. Like, or what are your predictions for this third season or this season of Lestat? Let me know because I think we're gonna see some stuff. We're gonna see some things we're not expecting. We're gonna see some things we are expecting. We just want to know how this plays out. That's what I want to know. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know.